You sacrifice, suffer, succeed, right?
Every business has challenges. Even when you do everything right, somebody's not going to be happy. So yeah, is it hard? Is it tough? Absolutely.
Here, because everyone wants a $17, $20 million, $30 million business. Everybody wants an exit, but what's it really take? Welcome back to the Exit Rich podcast. I'm sitting here with Josh and Sean Taylor, who actually owns Roofing Pups, and they went from doing probably $2 million last year to they're on pace to do about $17 million, all retail, no insurance this year. Guys, welcome to the podcast. Can't wait to everyone hear your story. It's exciting. Josh, Sean, start first. Tell people who you are real fast.
Okay.
Come on, why don't you just...
Yeah, I'll go. But try to be polite.
Let's go, Papa Pup. Let's go, Sean.
Yeah, Josh Taylor. Been in home services for going on 12 years now. So had the power wash company. You knew me from them. We met back in the day.
Ecotech.
Yep, Ecotech. So, you when did you get involved with home services? Was that 21?
Yeah, 20. Yeah, about 21, 2020 or 2021.
Yeah. So it was about that time we decided we were going to get into roofing. My brother was working at Costco. We were on a trip with Dad.
Vacation, family vacation.
Yeah. Said he was talking about retirement, and he was like, I think I want to sell the business. And we kind of laughed, and we were like, well, you really don't have, anything that you could sell. It's just you, a bunch of subs. So, we talked about, partnering up, and I was still real busy with Ecotech, but long story short, we made it work. You ended up leaving Costco. We partnered with Dad. We got into roofing and siding. You were just doing windows and doors at the time. But then we came up and visited Cherry, and we saw what you guys were doing. And you were like, dude, you got to get into roofing and siding. So anyway, we partnered up. What was it, 20?
That's right. You and Luke came up and spent the night at my house.
Yeah. You came up too with us, right?
I came up. Yeah, I came up.
Are you?
We shadowed Cherry for the day.
I could have swore you came up before and stayed at my house for a night.
But that was the talk about the power washing, right? We were talking about.
I forget why. Yeah, that's right. You guys came. I remember you spent the Saturday and Sunday there with us.
Yeah. But you were telling us, you were like, look, man, I'm going to get into home services. Like, I got 2 companies. You were telling me how they're about to sell. You like 10x them in a year. And we were like at the same time having that conversation with our dad about like, look, we got to get into roofing. So you invited us up. Sean and I came up. We met your team at the time at Cherry's, saw what you guys were doing. We were like, oh, this is going to be great. But at that time, you didn't have LB Capital. You were still with One SEO.
I was.
Yeah. So we basically went back and, we tried to work it ourselves for the first year. I think that was 2023.
Yeah.
We did a decent job. And what was Dad doing? Like $800K in revenue?
About $850 the year before us.
And we took it to about $2.5 million the next year. But then at that time, you were transitioning. I think you sold Cherries. You had sold
One SEO.
You had like 3 exits, right?
Mm-hmm. I have 6 now.
Yeah. So we
thought they were 7th.
That's right. Yeah. So I think we were at a wrestling event or something. You and I were talking, and you were like, "Look, we gotta. You should just come check out what we're doing with roofing. Like, we should talk about."
I think we were at Jason's wrestling camp.
Were we?
Okay. I think so. Maybe we're somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was Keeson's camp.
Yeah. So anyway, I was like, well, look, that's interesting. Like, you were kind of telling me the numbers and what you guys are doing. It just, to me, it made sense. It seemed like a faster path to help my dad retire, right? Our dad was, looking for a way out at some point. And you had the blueprint too. So, I'm a big believer. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'd rather, cut them to the front of the line somehow, if possible, right? Like, why not just team up with you? You guys had a good team. I love Bill Roselle. I think 2 months later, man, we had Big Kurt up there, and, we were signing papers.
I remember meeting your dad for the first time. And Sean, I actually didn't think you were on board. I was like, I don't know. And I remember meeting Kurt, and I'm like, man, this is an intimidating motherfucker. Doesn't speak, doesn't talk, but he's built, big guy. And he just sits there and listens. And after we spent like 2 hours ago, I was like, yo, what do you think? He's like, well, I'm in. I was like, like all of a sudden, he's like, but it hasn't been perfect. Like, right? Like, you guys are going to do 17 million. You just had your biggest monster month ever. I think your EBIT is what, 450,000 this month? About that, right? 400?
July. Yeah.
Yeah, about 4. I mean, right? That's more than you were doing a month. You guys made a profit this month in less than a year.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Just think about that. You did more profit in a year and a month than you made in a full year before.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is. We were talking about it the other day, so we were talking about how this was the right move. right? Like, because you said it hasn't been perfect. Like, we can look back in the past year. We had some hard times, right?
Yeah.
We had some,
It is hard.
everybody does.
That's the hard time, Sean, because people think like when they partner with me, I come into the business, I'm answering the phones, I'm teaching people how to sell. Like, none of that happens, does it? Like, we don't even talk. I mean, how often do we talk, to be honest?
Once a month.
we know what our job is. You know, you were very clear with us in the beginning. You're not going to go sell roofs. You're not involved with the day to day. You're managing the fund and the team at LB Capital, and so that was never the expectation, right? Like,
But people think that they're from the outside.
Yeah. There's
Like, some people are like, they call me up. The majority of people are like, I just don't want to work. I don't want to do it, but I'll give you half my company. Well, nah, it doesn't work that way, guys. I ain't fucking.
I mean, where's the logic in that anyway? Like, wouldn't everybody just be signing up if Lance was just going to grow their business for them and like make them a millionaire? Like, it just sounds too.
If you do the work, it will.
Exactly, right? Like, that's not the way it works. You got to work. You got to put the work in, you know?
Tell me about your biggest challenge, Sean.
my biggest challenge, I would say, is
Those are the process. Tell me what was your biggest challenge. You were like, see, at one point, you guys had to think, man, I might have made the wrong move here.
Yeah, I mean, I've always like had from the beginning, like you spoke, like you couldn't get a read off me. It was like I was the one that was the skeptical one from the beginning. Like him and my dad were all on board, and this is before we agreed to everything. And I'm looking at everything, and like when we went up to Cherry to visit, I remember going through one neighborhood and there was 35 Cherry signs in one neighborhood. I'm like, how the hell is this possible? So then I'm looking at the office when I come up. I'm meeting you, for maybe the first, second time, and I'm thinking, this all looks legit, but I'm going to be the devil's advocate on this and try to play the other side of it. But I guess once, he's a good salesman. He sold me on behind a curtain.
Oh, we make a good team. It's there's checks and balances. I'm like 100 miles an hour. Sean's like, hey, maybe we should, let's stop for a second and do this, and this. And I'm like, okay, you're right. So it's a good dynamic, actually.
Absolutely.
The deciding thing for me when we were going back and forth was, he was like, I had an opportunity to partner with Lance years ago, and I've really regretted not doing that since then. He was like, and I don't want to miss this opportunity. And honestly, it's probably the best decision, we've ever made business-wise, 100%.
But what was your biggest challenge? Because like, I want people to hear, because it's hard to go from a $1.82 million business to 17 in 1 year.
Yeah.
Like, people don't realize the struggles, the pain. I call it, you sacrifice, you suffer, you'll succeed. How many times you have heard me say it to people, right? Like, it's just...
Got that letter frame, dude. At the house.
There you go. Yeah, I wrote a letter. Yeah. You sacrifice, suffer, succeed, right? And that's what I want people to hear, because everyone wants a $17, $20 million, $30 million business. Everybody wants an exit. If you don't, you're a complete fucking idiot, if you ask me. But that's besides the point. But what's it really take? I want to know, like, what was the defining moment? Because I always say, like, Nate Link gave me his defining moment. Travis Adam, like, that'd be a time where you're like, man, I don't know if this is for me. And then something switches. And then you're like, all right, I'm all in. And then everything starts to change.
I think for us, defining moment was like before we started, we're going on average, 300,000 a month, something like that. And then that first month where we actually got it going, we sold 700,000, and we didn't even know what the hell we were doing right off the bat. Like,
wow.
I look at it, I'm like, how in the hell did we sell $700,000 in July? Like, I had no idea what we were doing. We had a 4-person sales team or 5-person sales team, and now I'm looking around, we got 17 guys out selling and, doing triple that. So a month.
And you have no insurance work. We're doing no insurance work.
Not a single
insurance.
When I say 0%, I mean 0%. There ain't no insurance.
How's the cash flow compared to insurance work? Be honest.
Oh, you look back at any of the insurance you did, you're like, what the hell was I thinking? I don't mean no disrespect for those guys out there doing insurance roofing. Like, no disrespect.
Get me to do it. You're like, Lance, you don't understand. I'm going out. I'm like, Josh, you don't understand. I ain't ever doing insurance.
Yeah, you were right.
All of those little tidbit things that you guys said to us when I'm thinking a year ago, I'm like, man, I don't know if that's going to work for us. It's a different play. Every single thing that I've gotten from you, Mike, Bill, has all come to fruition. Every single thing, and it's all just things that I was definitely skeptical of, that I just didn't see the bigger picture.
But Josh, it's challenging. Like, you lead that unit down there, a lot of different personalities, a lot of sacrifice from your time. You guys both got kids. I know your kids were real big into wrestling, obviously. Dude, like, it is hard. like to lead people, to coach people. Can you talk about that, Josh, like in the vision? Because I think everyone just thinks like, it's easy. Anyone can take this company from 2 million to 17. Anyone can do this.
It's a whole different level, dude. I mean, you're coming from a guy that had a, $3 million power washing business. You had 3 locations, anywhere from 30 to 40 employees at any given time of the year. Thought I had done something really big. It's just a whole different level. It really is. When you're dealing with that kind of money, that amount of people, personalities. I mean, even when I had my other company, I had a lot of direct reports. I had some installation people between me that were, managing, but I'm responsible for those 17 people. Plus I oversee my canvas department, and I also work with Sean on production. Thank God, like, we do this together because he's really great and strong in the production side. But it is a different game. But I think that the mistake people make is because they think they can make sense of something. They can understand how to get or create a $15 million business. I think they think it's easy. It ain't. When you're in it and you're doing it, you got to show up every day. You got to be that like driving force. You can have a bad day, bad night, but you got 15 people to lead every morning. So you got to come in, and you got to come in with energy, dude. I mean, I'll be in the other room some days and I'm like, I'm just feeling this way, but slap myself, do some push-ups, and I got to get up in front and lead those guys, So, I don't know if I'd have been able to do that, 5-10 years ago. Everything I'd done up until this point's got me to this point. Right. And so the coaching from Bill, the coaching from Mike, that's been the hardest thing for me, was like having to admit where my blind spots were as a leader. Right. And it's hard. Lack of attention to detail on certain things and being held to higher standards. It's the little things. If you're not doing the little things right, you're probably not doing the big things.
Oh, that's a fact. Can't do step one. You can't do step two.
Something I had to really learn and embrace, because I didn't see the value sometimes in those little things. So,
I always say, it's the details that win you anything in life. And people are like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're only going to do the big things once or twice, but it's the small details that you do consistently, do them right, is what wins. It's almost like in football, the line wins you the game. I truly believe that with all my heart. Your line wins the game. But the line, no one even likes the line. No one likes watching the line. I coach football now, believe it or not, Josh. Might win coach of the year one day. I doubt that. Yeah. But all I do is look at the line. And my offense coordinator and other coaches don't understand why. I'm like, because if I can get the line to go, the rest will go, right? The details, if you pay attention to the details, the rest goes. It just starts going. The roofing space has changed. You come from power washing. How's that going anyway, that business?
It's going well. I mean, I've got a great GM. I'm really lucky, right? But like any business, I'm going to give you the truth. Like, I'm the driving force in that business, right? So my focus is not on that right now. So it's kind of flat where it was out with growth, and I'm okay with that. That was part of the plan. But and that's just a testament to these businesses. The operator is where the value is, right? Like,
without a doubt,
it's all in the operator at the end of the day.
Every business I've ever had not make it. So where was I? Was at Jeff Jordan Wrestling Camp? I was at Jeff Jordan Wrestling Camp, and a guy walked up to me, and he goes, "You're Lance Bachmann." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I follow you on Instagram." I said, "Awesome. Man, you got the Midas touch when it comes to business. Everything's gold for you, huh?" I said, "Nah, man. That's not true." I said, "Do 90% of my business growing or successful? I have a very high success rate." I said, "But I do have some that don't make it." And he goes, "Why?" I said, "It always comes down to one key thing." He goes, "What?" And he started saying, "Money?" Nope. He's like, "What? The area you picked to do the business in?" Nope. I said, "It comes down to the fucking leader in that business. It's the number one thing. If you don't have a leader in that business that drives it, owns it, treats it like their own, and literally lives the life of being a leader, it cannot be successful. It's impossible." Can you talk about that? Because I think that's probably, and they're hard to find.
Saying that it's all about leadership is one thing, but really believing it and actually owning it is a different thing. And what I mean by that is I think a lot of people say like leadership, but I'm talking ultimate accountability, right? Like there's a book, Jocko Willink, The Extreme Ownership. Yeah, it talks about how one SEAL team, there was 2 teams, like one was struggling carrying the boat and then the other one was crushing it. Well, he took the strong leader from the one and he switched them. And it really had everything to do with the leader, not the team.
Absolutely.
Right. So like, that's one of the biggest takeaways for me is it, like, being in this environment and seeing, other people, seeing what we're doing here is really owning that. Like, everything, all of our success, all of our failures are on me.
100%.
All comes to me. Doesn't matter. There's no excuses. Absolutely zero excuses. And so, like you said, I mean, every good business, every successful one, everyone that struggles, it's always because of one thing: leadership. Either have it or you don't.
Because
period.
Think about what we sell. We're selling roofs. And I love you guys. I'm not being disrespectful. And I say this to everyone, like, roofing is not hard. It is really not that complicated, right? All the tools that are out there with Service Titan, Roofer, Roofle, right? 90% of all work is subbed out by roofing companies for the most part, right? Like, so the subs are really the experts at putting the actual installation is. Now, you got to know it yourselves, too, to make sure we're quality controlling everything. But, like, it's really, you go to a home, they have a problem, you give a solution, you give the right solution, you make them happy, you install it, you collect your money, you leave. I'll see you in 12 to 18 years. Like, it's really not that hard. We're like power, and it's a good ticket item. Average sale in Maryland's what, probably 15, 16, 17,000?
Yeah, right there.
Right? Your net, what's probably 20% to the bottom line right now?
Yeah, 20% net operating income.
Okay, so, like, that's a good business. And no offense to power washing, we had a guy yesterday at the shop tour, in the power washing company. I actually told him about you. Young guy, Matt. And Matt, if you're watching this, you told me you listen to this shit, so pay attention. What's the first piece of advice I told him to do you think, Josh? He owns a 3-truck power washing company. What's the first thing that you think I told him to do?
Get out of it.
Just like that. I said, add roofing right away.
Yeah.
Because it's all the same time and energy.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm doing a power washing sale, I just walk them through it, I still got to answer the phone. I still got to put it into a CRM. I got to pay for advertising. I'm probably paying for the same cost per lead ballpark, right? Then I got to get my sales guy to go out there and sell the job, or do it by phone using Google Maps, whatever you do. Then my ticket in power washing, the average ticket, not commercial, is probably going to be somewhere between $400 and $800, maybe. Correct. Right? So my average roof's going to be somewhere between $13,000 and $18,000. If I operate them both at net 20%, do the math. You're doing 3 jobs a day. It's just, you can't compete.
Oh, I will tell you this, and you probably call me a liar. Most people listening will probably say this. I promise you, it is easier for us to schedule and get a roof installed than it is to successfully do a house wash, roof cleaning, gutter cleaning for someone and train somebody to do it.
It's just way too many.
Because these guys are professionals. These guys that come in here and do these installs, I mean, they do everything. They manage themselves. They're motivated. I'm talking about our installation crews. Unbelievable people.
Well, and this is the thing with installation crews, and I say this all the time, and I'm not here to put down white American males, but they don't want to work. They just don't. Like, and I'm not here to, like, and I know it sounds racist, but I guess I'm white, so I could say it, right? But, like, when's the last time you seen 10 white guys up on a roof, cracking shingles, ripping them all? When's the last time?
Those guys are laughing all the way to the bank. They jokingly, they call us gringos. They laugh. They're like,
what do they call us, gringos?
Yeah, pick it up. Yeah. I mean, guys are hard workers, man.
I see what they make every week.
And they're good
work
people.
Hard. They're very good people.
They're good people. They're people of faith, and they do the right things. Let's just talk about this switch, because Kurt, like, when he had to switch to Service Titan, right? Sean's laughing.
Oh, God.
Can you talk about what that was like, that switch to Service Titan? And because technology is hard, right? What was that like?
I mean, Service Titan is everything for us. And I remember talking to you originally, and you're like, if it doesn't live on Service Titan, that doesn't exist. So to go from what we were using to that, I was lost for a little bit. But the more I played around with it, the more I got into it, I realized the things that it could do and how much it can help grow the business. It was very eye-opening how big of a part of our business it is. And the technology of it to be able to do everything all in one place.
Do you believe you could have done $17 million in your first year without Service Titan? Do you believe that?
No, running off of what we'd be so lost. Man,
Josh is sitting there staring at the table.
What we were running off
no
of
way.
Definitely could not handle 17 million of business.
And a lot of people, it's because the adoption of technology, right? They don't want to learn. It is frustrating. I don't care what anyone says. I'll be the first one to say, when you take Service Titan on, it sucks. Like if people are like, man, like you're friends with R. I'm like, yeah, I'm friends with R, but that doesn't mean it doesn't suck, right? But the end result, I always talk about the output. You guys know that, right? The output is way worth all the aggravation on the input. Like it just is. Let's talk about, dealing with the suppliers, because you used to do it. I came in. What was that price when you saw the pricing, how you guys got right to the front of the line for all jobs? Like you don't have to wait for things. Did that change the way your business flows? Like talk about that, because Beacon's been a great partner to us.
Beacon has been great when we have to use ABC. They've been great for us. The difference I would say is before, when it was just him and I doing this, I'd call and be like, hey, how soon can you get this out? I'm like, 3 days from now, I'll drop it for you. Right now, I can pull my phone out, call my rep at Beacon and say, I need you to drop something first drop tomorrow so we can install it, and they'd have it out there immediately. Like whether we're in business hours or not business hours, like they'll bend over backwards for us. And it makes a difference because nobody else is going into that home right now and saying, I can put your roof on tomorrow. And we can make that happen if we need to.
And people don't realize speed to lead and speed to install makes a big difference when you're trying to run numbers. Can you talk about that, Josh? Like, telling someone to wait for 3-4 days for a roof, like you said, Sean, coming out and saying I can do it tomorrow.
Speed.
You wait a couple days, especially on a one-call close, you're going to get your feelings hurt a few times.
Yeah, explain that. Yeah.
Some people buy before they're sold. I mean, so it's one of those things where like the speed is important, right? I mean, people get buyer's remorse. You want to show that you're on top of things. I think people are looking sometimes for a reason. When you come into their house and in 2 or 3 hours, sell them a $15,000, $20,000 system, they're looking for reasons to say, hey, I didn't make a good decision sometimes. That's just fact, right? And so if you know that, right, like that's how you tailor your sales process, and that's how you deliver on the back end after you make the sale to push against that, to over deliver for the customer, right? The 5-star experience is what we're doing. So it's everything. We're a speed to lead organization, one call close environment, but we also follow up as well.
I mean, only 30% of your calls are closed on the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, so like, even if you're going for it, but you look at it statistically, 70% are done on follow-ups. Yep. So like, it still shows you guys are doing the right things through the process, because people, when you have to follow up, we're probably going to, what we say, 2 to 3 other quotes.
Always.
It's the same objection. It's an open playbook. We know what we're going into every time. That's what makes it so easy. At least that's what I tell the team.
What?
There's nothing new. It's the same objection every time. We know what we're walking into.
Give us the biggest objections that you hear.
Get multiple quotes. Price.
The wife.
The wife has to be the hardest one to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
Because multiple quotes, I feel like you'd overcome that. Is there anything I didn't do here today? Customer service, you don't believe the price is fair. Like, I feel like you talk your way through multiple quotes, right?
100%.
The wife, I don't know, like, if I ever had to overcome something, I had to talk to my wife, because I never do, but that's besides the point. But like, what could you say that? Like,
like any objection, they're handled early and often, right? So you should be, during your discovery process, when we sit at the table, when I first get in, I should be finding out what your decision-making process is like. Who else is involved with that, right? We've talked about, there's been situations where that, someone's incredibly direct about how they make decisions, that the partner has to be involved. And so there's ways of two-stepping that, setting follow-ups or times to come back when both are there, or, being very direct and saying, well, listen, if you like what I have to say today, right? If we have something that actually works for you, are you in a position to get a hold of them? Right? Like, be direct. When we get them involved today, are they?
When you sit down and talk to your wife tonight, what's the first thing she's going to ask you? How much does it cost? And I just told you that, there's probably 3 different types of contractors out there, and the low end guy is going to have a better price. So you're really setting her up to give you bad advice if she's just asking about the price. That's usually how I will roll through it.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Service Titan and Rilla, our technology of choice to helping us scale and grow our business, and making sure all of our viewers have the technology to scale their business, so when they want to sell it, they're able to. When you guys, I met you, I think you were selling for $400 or $500 a square. Is that correct? Ballpark?
I think, we were average somewhere in the mid-fives. I think like 550, 575. Yeah.
And it was still hard to make money at that number.
Oh, yeah. Arguably, we were not. And we were overpaying ourselves on commissions. So we were like, the company wasn't making shit, probably.
I mean, but now we charge $850 to $900, which I think is a fair price. Like, I think that's more. I actually feel like we could charge $1,200 and for the experience we give, but I feel like being in that mid range, $850, $900, like what it comes out to be, that's about the average it comes out to be, right?
Yeah.
So
Roughly $950.
$950. And I believe I truly mean we should be $1,200, $1,300. You guys know I believe that, like with all my heart. Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
you know, what do you think? Do you think you can scale a profitable company now that you guys been here for a year? Do you think a company not make money yourself at 300, 400, 500? Do you think you scale a profitable company at 500, or do you think you have to be around that 900, 850 range?
I think you got to be around that 900, 850 range to run a proper company. I mean, you can do it and pay yourself, whatever you want to pay. But if you're going to scale a business and prep it, to be sold, it's got to be at that range.
Explain why, Sean, because I think a lot of people don't understand. It seems like you caught on to this stuff pretty fast.
I think that, there's a lot of things that you don't even think about when you're running a legit business. How much are you going to pay for insurance? Are you giving your guys cars? Are you paying for their gas? Or do they have 401ks? Like, there's a lot of hidden things that you're not paying for at 500 a square. But if you're at 850 and 900 and you can deliver on a 5-star experience, and doesn't matter to me if I have to go somewhere and rip an entire roof off, because I'm going to make sure that it's right.
It's funny you say that, because we talked this morning in a leadership meeting, and I said I want every one of my companies that own a nice home, that drive a nice car. Why shouldn't they be able to? Was that not yes or no? Like,
Yeah.
And I saw some people head kind of like, wow, like he's right. Like you saw Merce head, he's right. Like everyone should be able to have nice things and have a nice life. Like the average roofing salesperson probably makes, what would you say, 200 to 300, 150 to 250
In our organization?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
200.
200, right? You can live a good life on $200,000, a great life.
Absolutely.
I mean, like you live a very good life on 200 grand. I mean, and you're doing a lot of good for people when you're selling them the roofs the right way and doing the right things.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know too many companies that have scaled that are huge selling at 550 a square. All the big ones, Power, Home Genius, Long, Fitzpatrick, have them out to your house. They start out 1,500, 1,800 a square.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, to answer your question, no, because if you're at 550, 400, what are you selling? You're selling price. And there's always someone lower, man.
Always someone cheaper.
Matter. So it's just a race to the bottom is all it is. You just don't want to commoditize the service and what you do and what you offer as a company. And I think when you make it all about price, that's exactly what you do. And you will lose that battle every single time.
I think when we started this, that was one of the hardest hurdles, for us to get over. And that's what I hear from a lot of other people that are just starting is, other people are cheaper. Like it's not about the price. And Mike Shelley had beat that into my head over the last year. And, it took probably a month or two, maybe 3 months for me to finally realize that, to where like, it's not about the price. That guy that's buying it for 400 a square is not our customer. And I don't want him to be our customer.
If it was about price, everybody would eat at Taco Bell and Wendy's and Chick-fil-A. There'd be no Capital Grills. There'd be no Eddie V's. There'd be no Ritz-Carltons. Everybody would be sleeping in Motel 6s. Like, honestly, you really just break it down to everyday life. Look around you. If it was truly about price, we'd all be sleeping in Motel 6s, but we don't, do we?
No. Price is an idea. That's it. It's an idea. I mean, I remember when I didn't think I could sell a house wash for more than $199. And then once I got some coaching and I got through that belief issue, we were selling $1,500 to $2,500 packages for cleaning houses.
Here's a question. Roofing Pups. What was the name of your company before you bought it? Before you rebrand?
Airtight Exteriors.
Airtight Exteriors. How did the rebrand help?
I think it helped a lot. It's sticky, man. It's different, right? Everything in roofing is this masculine roof line of a home with blues and blacks. And,
Did we just have this conversation?
Different.
Alpha roofing, Lion roofing. I'm not making fun of these fucking guys, but I'm like, who would ever name their shit like this?
Well, you have to think about who are you selling to, right? Like who makes the decision in the home a lot of times?
Women, 80% of them.
Right? The wife, man. So what I like about the brand, I think it speaks to the female a little bit more. It's very disarming, right? Who doesn't like puppies, like dogs? And it's sticky, man. People see us, they remember us. They just, I see your cars everywhere. I mean, I get that all the time.
I'm in home, so I get it from customers all the time. So I'm out doing sales, and how I explain it all the time is like, we want to, if everybody's doing something, we want to do something a little different. You know, everybody's got that strong, masculine, you know, name, some brute, manly name. And we wanted something that was a little bit more, you know, softer, you know, more inviting. And 70% of the time or 80% of the time, I would say, I'm there meeting with the woman of the house. You know, I won't meet the husband, the boyfriend, the man of the house. The woman of the house is the one making the decision most of the time.
And how they like the name Roofing Pups?
I can't tell you how many people are like, "Oh, we chose you because we loved your name." And like my 15-year-old, he won't let me drop him off in front of his high school in the car. He makes me drop him off. Makes me drive him off across.
See him.
Yeah, but my 4-year-old loves it, and he calls all of our cars the Roofing Pup car. He calls my dad's car the Roofing Pop car.
The Roofing Pop car.
Yeah. It's a fun brand. I mean, that's all there's. It brings fun to the brand. We joke, we're like, we put the woof in roofing, you know, and so we have fun with it. It's cool. It's different.
Well, I mean, it's branding matters, right? Like social media matters. How you communicate your brand matters. I don't think a lot of people put thought into their brand. I think they do what I like instead of what the customer likes.
Yeah. Well, and what people have to realize about their brand is it says everything about them, right? So like, when people are looking, if they Google roofing services, right, and they look at 3 different options on the GMB section, and they see Roofing Pups, but then they see Alpha Exteriors, Next Day Exteriors, right, all the same shit, but then they go with Roofing Pups, they've already made the decision. Like a lot of people are that say they love the brand, they're already sold.
But you can only mess
so much conviction for the brand. So you talk about a qualified like lead and like.
When they see
they say that, we know we got, like, that's a sale there, man.
When they see a catchy name with good reviews next to it, you jump right to the top of the list.
Yeah, I mean, how many reviews do you guys got now?
Between
combined on everything, that's 700 or 800, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, think about that. And how many did you have? I mean, because we force reviews a lot. Like, I'm a big believer in reviews. You probably didn't have 100 reviews prior, did you?
No,
like 9 in the 90s, probably.
I mean, think about
80s.
that. Yeah. In 1 year, we went and got that many reviews. And do you think the reviews impact your business drastically?
Everything. People are more likely to make a decision off reviews than they are a referral from a friend or a family member. And that's actually a true thing. I read that somewhere. But reviews are everything. And it's not that you need to have a 5-star. You need to show that, like, you're going to see people that are going to have, you know, something to complain about. But how do you respond as a company too, right? Like, what did you do about it?
Absolutely.
What is your response on the review? Like, anyone that says they're all 5 stars, it's either doctored up or they're lying, right? Because it's just not possible. Every business has challenges. Even when you do everything right, somebody's not going to be happy.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, you know, I think what really people that are buying or shoppers are looking at, you know, how do you respond as a company?
What do you guys think about your financial literacy from a year ago to now? Understanding P&Ls, gross profit, net income. Like, has it been a drastic change for you? You know, or has it been?
Yeah, I would say it's been a huge change. Like, we had P&Ls, but not to the level of what it is at this point. And like, how I understand it when we do our P&L review meetings is things have become way more clear to me, you know, to the bottom line on you know, what we're trying to get to. And I would say that I have a significant, I understand the P&L significantly more than what I did before.
What about you, Josh?
I mean, you know, coming from a guy, I had a lot of experience with the financials, balance sheet, statement of cash flow, P&L, working at Automate Grow Sell and doing some small business coaching. But I think, you know, having a business that is now run by true accrual and really being able to understand that and see that and be able to make live decisions like, you know, weekly, monthly, based off the P&L, that's been a game changer. Huge, whole different way of running the business. And the chart of accounts too. Learn some different things that, you know, in terms of like cost of goods and understanding some of the different costs and where you can put things. Yeah. And even add backs and EBITDA, things like that.
Because all I do is live through the financials. Like you two know me, like that's probably what you say 90% of my conversations with everybody is financials, right? Financials and leadership, right? Like be nice, be a good person, right? How many people do you think don't really pay attention to the financials and that's their biggest struggle? Like they just think I got cash in the bank, I'm good to go.
If I'm going to be honest with you, I was one of them, 100%. And I had to stare at it with my power wash company. I think sometimes because you don't want to look at it, I used to make excuses for things when I looked at the P&L before, I'd even bring it up. I knew, you already know. So that was a big change for me. And I think that's why this works so well. Like, you are the steward of the P&L. And so if something's not right, we can tell you, we can feel like we understand, it's easy to make an excuse, right? Is what I'm saying. But now it's like when you're held accountable to the numbers just don't lie, right? So like it's a whole different, like for me, it's a whole different way of running the business. I'm better for it, like, to be quite honest with you. So
it has to be a struggle though, because I'm just to the numbers. I'm very direct about them, Sean. Like, it has to be a struggle to hear like, yeah, like what you would have considered a good month a year ago. I'm like, nah, we only made $100,000 last month. That's not a good month.
Yeah.
Well, we met 2 months ago or so, and had some hard conversations about things, and I knew that I needed to make some changes on some stuff, and the very next month was our best month ever. I went out and had individually the best sales month that our unit's ever had.
Yeah. But that's what it's about, though. I think, I asked you guys all a question this morning about, hey, listen, guys, who wants to work with people they like, right? And everyone raised their hand, except for who?
You.
And what did I say?
I could care less.
I could care less. I want to work with people that move the fucking needle and win. Right. And I think that's where people misconstrue. It's a bonus. Yeah, of course, I'm human. I want to work with people I like, but I could sit across from someone I can't stand if they move the needle, because I'd rather be with someone that can move the needle than someone I like that can't move the needle.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that mind shift change? Because that's the biggest thing if we get anything out of this leadership meeting, because as we grow and we continue to grow, I think that's the biggest thing a lot of people get caught up on is, I call it the boys club. Makes sense? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people get caught up in the boys club. I want to be around people I like. I always say cops hang out with cops, firefighters. I'll tell you, drunks hang out with drunks, people that cheat on their wives. Shit. Like, can you talk about that mind shift change? Like, I don't care if I like you or not. Let's go move the needle.
Yeah.
Either way, still.
What I heard you say was that, like, you followed it with, like, that's a bonus, but that is secondary to performance, right? So, like, ultimately, like, you have to lead off logic, not off heart, right? At the end of the day. And that's tough. Not saying you need to be a heartless bastard when it comes to business, but, you don't make decisions based off of being liked or whether you like somebody, right? You look at the performance and what kind of value they're adding to the organization. So I agree with you 100% on that. But I think we all need to be told that, though, every once in a while, because you get lost in the weeds, right? And as you're in the day-to-day, it's easy to, let's just say.
Absolutely.
So that's what I took from it.
What about you, Sean?
I mean, there's challenging personalities, for people, especially for him dealing with a large sales team like that. But at the end of the day, if we're all going in the same direction, like, that's how we're going to get to where we need to be. And I don't need to hang out with you after, go to the bar, drink, get drinks, stuff like that. But I think that we all have the same vision, and that's what's most important to me. Everybody being on the same page, everybody wants to make money. Sure, we want to have fun while we're doing it, and but it's definitely a challenge.
It's a balancing act, right? Because I want to come to work every day and have fun, but the reality is this: I don't. Some days are better than others. Some days are worse than others. Some days I look at people and I think, fuck, man, you have a brain inside your fucking head, right? Like, I mean, honestly, right? Like, but then some days I'm like, man, I get the best person ever here. So here's a question for you. You guys do a lot of financing. What percentage of your jobs are financing?
75, 80.
Yeah.
So do you believe you could grow to a $17 million business and be doing what you're doing without financing?
Absolutely, there's it.
They didn't even hesitate. Can you tell me why? You guys remember, I've never been home and sold anything inside of a home.
Well,
so I'm losing you guys as the experts, right?
I'll let Sean speak first.
Yeah, I mean, we always joke around, like, part of my sales pitch is like, oh, you didn't wake up today and, say, hey, I want to buy a roof today. It's usually because you got, water coming in, and then who usually has $20,000, $30,000 just sitting in an account somewhere? Like, the percentage of people out there that have that are very slim.
Absolutely.
So everybody's got, kids in school and money going this way, going that way. Nobody has this chunk of money sitting around. So when you give them the opportunity to be able to pay for something that they need at a reasonable rate, people jump at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a study done recently. I heard it was the average American has like less than $6,000 in their savings account. And do you think that they want to spend that? That's a true thing.
Wow, holy shit!
The average American.
I'm gonna just I just gotta because that is like that seems like extremely low.
Mm-hmm.
What's the average
ChatGPT in it.
American?
Josh better get fact checked.
What's the average American have in their bank account? No, I believe him. You want to know why? Because you heard me, how pissed did I get when Nate Link brought about that sales guy's commission and didn't pay it? How fucking boiling was I?
Have money.
Huh?
Oh, man.
No fluff, no excuses. The average person has $5,400 in their account.
So less than $6,000.
That is fucking nuts.
Do you think that they want to spend that freaking money on a roof? That's the most unsexy purchase I could ever think of making in my life would be to buy a freaking roof. How often do you look up and say, man, I love my roof? I mean, I walk in and out of my front of my house, in and out of my door. That's it. I don't care about my roof.
I couldn't even tell you what my farm looks like. I couldn't, but I'm oblivious. So, like,
but the point I'm making is they don't have the money for a roof. It's not a sexy purchase. You have to finance. If you're not financing, and if you want to sell one day, you better be strong in financing. Because I tell you, like to me, if I'm private equity and I'm looking, and everybody wants PE money, right? That's ultimately what we're doing, right? So if I'm a PE,
explain why they want PE money. Because I don't think most. So I'm going to hit you with a stat here. If there's 12 businesses for sale, one of those businesses will sell inside of a year. One, and that's going to be a private sale, most likely, meaning SBA, or I hold a note. I figure out terms with someone. It takes the average private equity firm to go through 400 to 500 deals to close one. So just think about that. 400 to 500 people they go and talk to, and they close one. So that's why. But why do you want the PE money? Why I gave you that stat so you understand when you tell them why you want the PE money. Tell them, Josh.
Oh, you're going to get it all. You're going to get a big chunk. Not too many people can hand millions of dollars over and sign a dotted line on within an hour. Like it ain't happening. I mean, obviously, I'm not talking about that whole due diligence process leading up to it, but
correct.
The point is, how many people are going to come buy your business?
How many people are dropping $36 million in an account when you close? Not many.
You gotta, if you're a lifestyle business owner, you may have somebody that wants to buy it from you, but that's going to be an annuity deal. You're going to owner finance that. There's so much risk with that. You want the PE money, but if you're selling the PE wants to see a strong sales organization because they know that's where the value is. And if you can sell financing, that means you can sell in a good economy and you can sell in a bad economy because you can sell to people that don't have the money. Period. That's how I look at it.
Oh, yeah. Here's a question for you. Because people have to ask you about your experience with LB Capital at this point, right? I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people see things from the outside. Some people see things, but you guys get to live it day to day. What would you say your overall experience is with LB Capital as a whole? Because there's been challenges, good, just bad. Just be truthful about it.
I mean, the numbers speak for itself. I mean, we've not only just business wise, but personally, like what we get from leadership from you, Bill and Mike, like I've grown tremendously just as a person, but business wise to go from 2 million to 17 million in 1 year, I mean, kind of speaks for itself at that point. Like I feel supported, anything that, all the struggles that we had as business owners before, like you guys basically laid out the playbook for us to do it. It works. It works.
But it's hard though, Sean.
It's extremely hard. Yeah, it's extremely hard.
It's not an environment for everyone. I'm going to be clear about that, but I'm proud to say that. And I'm going to tell you why, because it's not, if you think you know everything, if you think that, you're going to come in and just do the same thing, it's not the place for you. Like if you're hungry and you want to grow and you want to take a look in the mirror and you want to figure out where you're at and try to figure out how to get to here, this is the place to be. And I told you this morning, that was one of the reasons that I joined. And, for me was trying to figure out how I take myself to the next level professionally, right? And get someone to push me. In my business, I was the guy pushing everything and driving. So I haven't been coached since I was back on the mat, probably, really, by someone. So I looked at it as an opportunity for that. So yeah, is it hard? Is it tough? Absolutely. But if you're hungry and you want to grow and you want to be successful, You want to be around a world-class team, and like, this is where you want to be. But it's going to be tough.
It is, because you could see it's even tough between the LB Capital leadership team at times. Like you saw this morning, I was boiling on a few things, right? Sean's laughing, like, because I can't hold it back. I am who I am. I tell people, like, it's the good, the bad, the ugly. This is what it is, man. Like, there's no bullshit. When I heard that kid didn't get his commission, I wanted to take the fucking laptop and throw it across the table. Like, you saw me. I was like, just pay him. Like, that money means more to him than it would ever mean to us. What are we fighting about here? I mean, I don't know how much commission could have been, but let's just say the average job is 20,000, 10%. We're talking about $2,000 that you might lose. Because I know I'm not walking away from a deal for $2,000, but you could see a salesperson quitting over $2,000, couldn't you?
Oh,
Absolutely.
You didn't even hesitate. And I said to everybody, don't forget where we all came from.
Well, it can kill your culture too. It can create a conversation that you're not a part of as the leader in the background, and you don't need that. And it shouldn't happen anyway. So it like you said, it's getting taken care of. It was, isolated incident, but I'm just glad we have the leadership to identify those types of things. And, our position on it is like, our people make money here, period.
Oh, yeah, you make money.
That's just the way it is.
But, I always say this to people. If you do the right thing, you never got to look over your back for when you do the wrong thing. Because so many people go over their back because they're doing the wrong thing. But I never got to look over my back because I know I'm always doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's why everyone has access to the financial. I don't give a shit. Like, go ahead. I don't make no money out of these companies. When's the last time I took a penny out of Roofing Pups?
Yeah.
Never.
Never. Like, damn, I don't give a shit. Like, get to it. You know what I mean? Here's the last question for you guys. You guys had your best month ever in July. You crushed it. 400,000 plus in EBITDA, pure profit. Do you just go hard now? Do you see it now more than ever? Is it becoming real to you now? Or are you still a little bit like, I'm not sure? You're like, fuck it, I'm all in now. I think you guys were all in a little bit before, but I'm just saying, like, it has to be a pretty good feeling of seeing 400,000 plus profit.
And it took a while to, get over a hump for us, but that was a personal, hump for us to get over. And as soon as we saw, that monthly hit 1 million, then it's like off to the races after that.
Yeah.
And I think that now that doing the numbers that we're doing, would seem they're going to be the norm at this point too, doing $2 million, as soon as we hit that.
I think you did 2.5 last month, right? Install, right?
No, install was 1.6.
1.6.
1.6. Sales was how much? And that was Planet install 2.1.
Both ones.
Yeah, 2.5. Yeah, both 1.6. And that's your best month ever.
Yeah.
Best month ever.
I beat them in production by like 5 minutes.
It's the first time.
Oh, shit.
They'll get all rowdy over there.
Here's a question. Do you guys hit 2 million this month?
This month? Yeah, we'll hit 2 million this month.
I love that. There you go.
We got the horses.
You got the horses.
We got a hell of a team. And we got great leads. I mean, we have everything we need to be successful. We just have a few, that's it. And that's me. That's my job. I got to make sure we execute. So, the question, what was the question again, man?
Yeah. How do you feel about what's going on? You said your best month. How do you feel about the momentum, the steam?
The momentum's great. I mean, we're like, I was already committed and all in, but I'll tell you, it feels good to see us start to get there now, like to be on the runway, like to do the 1.6. And the funny thing is, when we were kind of stuck stagnant for a little while at like 7, 850, somewhere in there, we're like, man, it seemed like it's going to take a lot to get there, but it wasn't. It was just tweaking a couple things and being a little bit better as a leader about certain things, a little bit more high level of accountability. And it just went like that. We were looking at it this morning when Service Tighten the growth curve. He's like, boom, baby, let's go. Let's keep it going,
I think it was Mike Shelley coming down, doing a house call at our office and getting in our ass a little bit. And
oh, yeah.
The next month, we just took off after that.
Those conversations you hate, but you love. You learn to love them. They're gifts, man.
They are. If it's handled the right way, they are gifts. If it's handled the wrong way, it becomes the trash because everything gets destroyed.
Well, a wise man looks at it as a gift.
No doubt. Like
a fool would be,
looking at it as trash.
Yeah.
No doubt. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it very much.
Thanks for having us, Lance.
Yeah, get a picture.